Good morning all, CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday morning, July 17th. We're looking at window traders market profile of the ESNNQ. So as we spoke on Friday, the first thing, if you're a bear, to look for is some change to take place. And just like turning any big tanker ship around, it's baby steps. So the first thing we have to do is put the daily back into balance. Now, we've been trading. One thing I failed to mention on Friday is basically the market did spike and probe lower late in the day. Market closed. We didn't have enough time to see if that price spike was accepted, right? That was below the poor low of H&K at 38.25. Well, we spent the entire overnight below that and a little bit above below Friday's low. So H&K's low from Friday at 38.25 is your line in the sand, okay? Couple of things could happen here. Number one, if we take out Friday's low, we at least start a 3-day balance. Now it depends on how much the sellers get out of it. If they get into the 11th range, it would become a 4-day balance. Don't forget, below there is the gap. Remember, we never stopped at 4,500. We gapped, spent a couple of minutes there, and went above. So at some point, it might be healthy for the market to test the 4,500 level and see if there's still buyers there and hold the gap. So those are things that can come into play. So for my money's worth, for sellers, they need to defend. That's your line in the sand, 38.25. And for buyers, it's if we get down to the 4,500 level. Once we take out Friday's low, Thursday's low isn't as important. Yes, if we don't take it out, it'll just be a 3-day balance, but it's not as important because we're coming into balance regardless. Now, another level you could look at before 4,500 would be J&K's high from that day also, where we said change took place to the downside in E period, never could get back above it. We got between C's low and E's high that day. And then the next day, we actually gapped higher, filled the gap, it kept going. So actually before 4,500, the bulls are going to probably want to see and defend 45.16. So those are your two, 45.16 on the first leg down, and where we spiked from at 38.25 on Friday. Remember, NQ went out with a double distribution day down. Now in the overnight, they got into those single prints, but they don't fill in overnight. They'd have to happen in regular trading hours. Also, they still have the trend day from the 12th. So we'll see which one of those get taken back first. If they take out Friday's low, again, they come back into balance. Now, righty already had come back into balance when they took out Thursday's low on Friday. They have a very wide overnight POC, and they're basically trading in value, in balance. So game plan for this morning. Very visual area up here. Not only is that where the market spiked from, your overnight high is literally exactly a point above. And we know if we can't get the overnight high, the odds of getting the overnight low are better, and you're going to spend most of the day probably below the price spike, right? Because you only have 20% chance, 21% chance of taking out both sides of the overnight. So any push up, I would certainly be looking for a short against this level. You'd have lower value, you'd have the spike to lean on, and the overnight high. On the flip side, in the next hour, if we open above M's low, you could probably take a long against it then to see if they defend the one-time framing up. And then you could use the overnight low if it's still at 28 as you're out. That's 3 points worth of heat. You never know. Maybe they hold it and they do run up. And then we'll see what would happen at that area. Those are two really early plays. If we open below Friday's low, you might be able to try to front run the overnight low wherever it is, but remember, you will have value in favor of the sellers. And then really the next level I would look for long at any point would be right above that 45.16 level. So all early plays. And then just quickly, so here's your daily. Nothing can change until the daily comes into balance. I think the bigger question today will be, is it going to be a 3-day balance or a 4-day balance if we take out Friday's low? Pre-market volume under 400,000, so not heavy whatsoever. Good luck trading today. Thanks for the likes and subscribing to this channel, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.